form that you can write a vector in is the linear combination form, and that is in the form of ai plus bj. And what that means is that you have an I and a j vector as written up here, and you're going to see that I is going to have a length of 1. That's the magnitude. And j is going to have a length of 1. That's the magnitude. So I is horizontal, j is vertical. They have a length of 1. Now you can write down a vector in linear combination form. So the first thing that you would have to do is find out the change in the x's and change in y's. And you're going to remember that it's the terminal minus the initial. So you're always looking at the form, and the second part is the terminal point. So that means that subtracting the x's, you're going to have -5 minus 2 is -7 times vector I, which is the horizontal of a length 1. And then it's going to be, let's see, -3 minus 8 is a -11j. And a j again is the vector that is the vertical vector. And so that's just simply labeling it. You could do it the same thing with component form. Component form, very quickly, would be looking like this. Now, there is something called a unit vector, and a unit vector has the length of 1. And so and that's how you're going to get the unit. What that really means is a 1 unit vector. And to do that, you have to divide the vector by its magnitude, and that's all you have to remember. So the unit vector is equal to the vector divided by its magnitude. So to do an example on this one, if you just take a look at this vector p, the unit vector u is going to be vector p divided by the magnitude of p, which just means that it's going to be 4, -3 divided by the magnitude of p, which is the square root of, and let's see, that's going to be 16 plus 9, which means that that's equal to 5 on the bottom. So that vector is 4/5, comma, -3/5. Now what that means is you're basically taking vector p and you're converting it into a unit of 1, which has the same exact direction. So you're shortening up the vector. The initial magnitude is 5, and you're going to make it into a length of 1, which means if you were to find the magnitude of this one, you would see that that actually has a length of 1. Now, another part that you can do with the vector is to simply answer these types of questions. And I would say the way to do it is to definitely graph it. So find the vector of v with the given magnitude and direction angle. So you have a direction angle, and the question is, what is the magnitude and the direction angle? The direction angle here is given, but we have to find out what the component is. So to do that, I'm just going to go ahead and graph. This is starting here, just like in standard form, 180 to 240. So this is going to look like this. And if this is 180, that means that this is 60 degrees, and your vector is 18. Now the question is, what are the components of this vector? Now it's a 30, 60, 90 triangle. So if it's 30, 60, 90, and you know that this is 60 degrees right here, then this is 30. Therefore, this is going to be 1/2 of 18, or 9, and this is going to be 9 square roots of 3. With that in mind, you can write this down in the component form. So v is going to equal, now negatives are very, very important here. I'm going to go this way, the change in x's, which is a -9, and I'm going to go this way, change in y's, which is a negative 9 square roots of 3. Now, it's very possible that you may not have a special angle, such as in this case. Again, what you want to do is graph it. So you're going to have something like this, which is 95 degrees. And what I would do is, again, make a right angle here and know that this is going to be 85 degrees. And again, what you want to do is find out what is your A and what is your B, and remember what's positive and negative. To find that out, you're going to use SOHCAHTOA. You do know that the length of B is 5. So if I wanted to find out A, I would say cosine of 85 is equal to A divided by 5. And the sine of 85 is equal to B over 5. And you would solve for A and B, and then you would get your answer. Now, the vector V, the component form of V, would be equal to, and you just have to remember that your change in A is going to be negative because you're going to the left here, and your change in Y is going to be positive. So it's really going to have a negative number here and a positive number here, whichever you get for your A and your B. Lastly, the question is find the direction angle, which just means what is this angle, like 95 or 240 of the angle that's given. To find that out, you again want to definitely graph it. So my change in x is negative 4, change in y is 2, and therefore that's going to look like this. Now, if you know that you have 2 and a negative 4 here, what you can do is basically find out what that angle is by using tangent, because you have an opposite and adjacent. So tangent of theta is equal to 2 over, and I just like to do positives, and then just remember I'm going to have this angle, and what I really want to find out is what is my alpha, this angle. So alpha, remember, is going to be 180 minus your theta. So it's 2 over 4, and you would use tangent inverse of 1/2 is equal to your theta, and then you'd plug that in to get your alpha, and alpha would be your direction angle. So went over direction angles, we went over component form given the direction angle and the magnitude, and as well we went over linear combination form AI plus BJ.